Now, Intel is always trying to stay ahead of its competition. One person who is helping Intel to do that is Brian David Johnson. His title, in-house futurist. With a background in engineering, design, and a love for science fiction, Johnson helps Intel uncover what consumers will want years down the road. Our Bloomberg contributor Tabitha Soren had a chance to sit down with Johnson, this week's Innovator.
Galaga was one of the biggest video game hits of the 1980s. But Brian David Johnson isn't stuck in a time warp. As a futurist at Intel, he looks for inspiration everywhere, even in vintage video games.
Most of these games in this room kind of came on the market around 1981, 82, 83. It's around the time I was about 10 years old. I had my 10-year-old birthday party at a video game arcade. I was sort of born in this world. And for me, it was interesting, right? Because you had people just starting to scratch at consumers using this technology. And for me, it captured my imagination.
Now Johnson uses that imagination to figure out how technology will be different in 5, 10, even 15 years. Part of his work at Intel.
I just finished up doing 2019, and now I'm working on 2021. So we have a pretty clear idea from a technology standpoint, so where things are going. And then we work with social scientists to get an understanding on a human level of what human beings want and how we can make their lives better using technology. Because at Intel, it takes about 5 to 10 years to develop the chip. So it's of vital business importance today for Intel to know what people will want to do a decade from now.
Since joining Intel 10 years ago, Johnson has helped push the chipmaker beyond computers into a multi-screen strategy.
The entire group that I worked with started creating this vision for the screenification of all technologies. That it wasn't about the phone, it wasn't about the tablet, it wasn't about the Ultrabook, it wasn't about the TV, it was about all of them. That it was about all of these different screens acting and interacting with each other.
It's a critical shift for Intel. IDC says worldwide personal computer shipments were down 14% in the last quarter, the most since the research firm started keeping track nearly 2 decades ago. And Intel's competition is using that mobile boom to gain ground. That's part of why Johnson's job is so important. He wants to see the next trend before it happens.
There's going to be something after the smartphone. There's going to be something after the tablet. And those are the things that I'm looking for. Our problem is not the ability to build stuff, but it's our ability to imagine a very different future than we have today. And that, to me, is the biggest hurdle that we need to get over.
Tabitha Soren, Bloomberg.
All right, we have some breaking news to tell you about now. We're just getting information that an envelope containing ricin, a kind of poison, was sent to a senator in Washington. I'm going to bring in John Ehrlichman, our senior West Coast correspondent. What can you tell us?
Well, the headlines are that Senator Harry Reid was addressing reporters on this issue, and that, yes, that highly toxic substance was sent in an envelope to this Senator of Mississippi, Roger Wicker, that it was intercepted at an off-site facility. There have been other reports, although I can only speak to the headlines we've been seeing, reported by Bloomberg News about sort of the FBI's awareness of this as well, in terms of them also taking this and testing this at an off-site facility. But Harry Reid was addressing reporters and said that specifically.
Obviously, this is incredibly worrisome given everything that's going on in Boston with the marathon bombings. We, of course, do not know yet if these incidents are related. I want to bring in Yang Yang, our producer in Washington. Yang Yang, what are you hearing? What more can you tell us?
Hey, Emily. Hey, John. Yeah, we don't really have more details other than what John just said again. Details are still coming in. Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano, as well as FBI Director Robert Mueller, are briefing senators right now on the ricin threat. Again, Senator Roger Wicker. It was an envelope addressed to him. And again, really not many more details other than what you guys have already mentioned.
Yang Yang, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. When things like this do happen, what is the procedure? What happens next?
Right, well, the hits keep on coming. Already security at the Capitol was on high alert. Today we had trash cans removed from the Capitol area because of what happened in Boston. So today I'm sure the security in the mail facilities off-site is where the mail is sorted for congressmen, for senators. So we can assume there that they're using extra caution as they deal with mail coming in, as they try to prevent situations like this from happening, Emily.
All right, Yang Yang, our producer in Washington, John Ehrlichman, thanks so much. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any more developments. Again, Rison found in a letter sent to a senator in Washington. We'll be right back with more of Bloomberg Live next.
Bloomberg Innovators is brought to you by Microsoft. Unlock your potential with Microsoft Dynamics. Proactive, easy-to-use business solutions for everyone.
Check it out.
It's as simple as this.